Benin City. First, the headlines. Buhari says Nigeria's economy too fragile for fresh lockdown. Senate queries ministry for spending 248 million naira without approval. NLC demands end to medical tourism by government officials. And on business, Nigeria's food inflation rises by 110.5% in 5 years.
And in sports, Victor Osimhen returns as Genotor and plays a 24-man Super Eagles squad for 2021 AFCON qualifiers.
Details of these and more after this break. I am Charles Oporum. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari is calling on all Nigerians to obey all protocols recommended by relevant health authorities to curtail the spread of the coronavirus, as Nigeria's economy is too fragile to withstand another round of COVID-19 lockdown. President Buhari, who stated this on Thursday via his Twitter handle, said compliance with COVID-19 protocols by all Nigerians is crucial to avert a second wave of the pandemic in the country. Recall, Buhari had in March imposed a total lockdown on parts of the country, including Lagos, Abuja, and Ogun. The lockdown lasted for over 5 weeks and had a tremendous effect on the country's economy, with the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry putting the loss at about 3 billion naira in the period under review. The presidency has rejected the report by Amnesty International, alleging that the report on the Lekki shootings was twisted. The presidency said the Amnesty International cannot have more facts about things happening in the country than the president. Speaking on the channel's television program on Thursday, the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, disputed the allegations that the looting and rioting were not caused by the military shootings, insisting that there was already violence in some parts of the country before the Lekki incident. Recall that President Buhari had at last week's Federal Executive Council meeting told the ministers to go and interface with their constituents in a bid to stop the looting and burning of government and private properties by hoodlums as an aftermath of the protest against police brutality. The federal government says Nigeria will continue to engage relevant stakeholders to ensure the emergence of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the next Director General of the World Trade Organization. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ferdinand Moye, gave the assurance in a statement on Thursday in Abuja. He noted that the third and final round of the selection process for the Director General of the global organization was concluded on Tuesday, and the result was formally announced the day after. Moye added that Okonjo-Iweala, a former Minister of Finance, had gotten the support of the majority of the member countries. He, however, explained that she was yet to be declared and returned the winner because all the 164 member states of the organization were expected to adopt the winner by consensus. The WTO's bid to select a new leader was thrown into uncertainty following the rejection of the former minister by the United States. But Okonjo-Iweala and Nigerians are hopeful as they await a meeting scheduled for November 9th for the final decision on the election process. After weeks of consultation, 3 WTO ambassadors announced at a meeting in Geneva on Wednesday that Okonjo-Iweala has secured cross-regional backing in her bid to become the first African and female Director General of the World Trade Organization. The Senate has queried officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Republic of Germany for allegedly spending a total sum of 248 million without the approval of the National Assembly. The query was raised by the Senator Matthew Orogide-led Senate Committee on Public Accounts. The committee is relying on a query issued by the Auditor General of the Federation, Anthony Anyine, against Nigeria's embassy in Germany. The Auditor General, in a petition submitted to the Senate Committee on Public Accounts, has demanded the source of extra budgetary spending by the officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Germany. The Auditor General of the Federation, Anthony Anyine, has retired from active service. He was appointed as Auditor General for the Federation on January 12, 2017 by President Muhammadu Buhari after he emerged as the best candidate from the series of tests carried out by the Nigeria Civil Service. The Deputy Director of Information of the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation, Rotimi Ajayi, disclosed this in a statement in Abuja on Thursday. the most senior director in the office, Adolphus Agogo, will administer the office of the Auditor General for the Federation until a replacement is appointed by President Buhari. The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, on Thursday called for an end to all forms of medical tourism, especially by elected and appointed government officials. The NLC also said that with the quantum of resources available to government, Nigeria can afford to build and effectively equip some of the best hospitals in the world with global best practices and personnel. President of the NLC, Comrade Ayuba Waba, stated this in Abuja in his address on this year's Global Day of Action on Care. Waba reiterated that the government must be ready to invest heavily in the health sector, saying no country survives without effective health care. He restated that the country's healthcare sector has been neglected for too long. Healthcare workers have been subjected to unfair treatment for too long. The labor union leader said that successive governments failed to take healthcare as a top priority beyond mere policy statements. He said COVID-19 has fully exposed several countries, including Nigeria, as not having invested enough in a healthcare institution, putting everyone, both rich and poor, at risk. Coming up in a moment after this break, court rejects Shomore's and Bakari's appeal against bail conditions. Do stay with us, please.
At split seconds, there is a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping? We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break from Nigeria and across the world. We would stop at nothing to keep you informed, because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
Welcome back. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has struck out an appeal jointly filed by a former presidential candidate, Omoyele Sowore, and his associate, Olawale Bakare. In a ruling on Wednesday, a three-man panel of the court upheld the preliminary objection filed against the appeal by Aminu Alidu of the Federal Ministry of Justice. In the lead ruling by Justice Stephen Ada, the court held that the notice of appeal jointly filed by Sowore and Bakare was incompetent because in criminal cases, appeals are personal and each defendant is required to file individual notice of appeal. The court also faulted the notice of appeal on the grounds that only one of the appellants signed it, even when they claimed it was a joint notice of appeal. Sowore and Bakare are being tried before the Federal High Court in Abuja on charges of treasonable felony, fraud, cyber stalking, and insulting President Muhammadu Buhari. On October 4, 2019, Justice Ijoma Ojukwu granted both defendants conditional bail, part of which included barring them from addressing public gatherings. Elsewhere, at least 3 trucks were at the early hours of Thursday burned after a premium motor spirit-laden tanker exploded around Mile 2 along Oshodi-Apapa Expressway. The incident was said to have occurred around 1 a.m. while the exploded tanker was trying to navigate a bad portion of the road. It was gathered that the tanker went up in flames as soon as it overturned, while it spilled all it contained all over the expressway. Following the trail of spilled PMS, the fire in no time gutted a truck loaded with beverages as well as another petroleum tanker on the side. Confirming the incident, Director General Lasema, Dr. Femi Uke Osaintolu, said no life was lost. The Federal Road Safety Corps on Thursday confirmed the death of 21 people, including school children, in an auto crash at Ngbo in Ogu local government area of Enugu State. The Enugu Sector Commander, Ubona Kalu, who confirmed the incident, said the accident occurred on Wednesday afternoon. He said the accident involved a school bus and a trailer. The commander blamed the accident on overspeeding and dangerous driving. Reports state that the tragic incident occurred when a low-bed truck belonging to a construction firm working at Ogi River, Ogu, Federal Road, lost control and rammed into a school bus conveying over 60 pupils of the Presentation Nursery and Primary School, Ogu, owned by the Catholic Diocese of Ogu Home. 6 inmates have escaped from the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development Remand Home and Detention Center in Sapele, Delta State. The inmates all male with age ranging from 14 to 17 years, were said to have escaped from the home along Abeke Road in Sapele in the early hours of Wednesday. A source at the home who spoke on the condition of anonymity said the inmates escaped at about 12:30 a.m. The remand home is said to be housing 14 inmates, with 13 being male and 1 female in the facility. The police public relations officer, Onome, on Thursday confirmed the escape of the teenagers. Coming up in the moment on our business news, Nigeria's food inflation has risen by 110.5% between September 2015 and September 2020. More on our business news.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion, and the last kobo. Oh yes, we follow the money. It's all about the business and the business of business. The gains and the losses. The bulls and bears. The rise and falls. The risk and the satisfaction of seeing the last kobo rise to millions. On KUFM's Business News, the simple and complex jargons of business just make sense. Get the trending news on the morning market, forecast, investment opportunities, policy changes, and other breakout information on the ever-busy world of business. KU Business News, Monday to Friday on our news dawn, 6:30 to 7 a.m.
Welcome back. You're still on to News Dawn on 92.7 KUFM Benin City. Over now to business word. Nigeria's food inflation has risen by 110.5% in 5 years between September 2015 and September 2020. A comparison of the Composite Food Index within the period under review indicated that food inflation rose from 181.8 index points to 382.7 index points. This means that the price of food items has not just increased, but more than doubled in the last 5 years of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Similarly, the all items index also rose by 92.4% during the same period. Data obtained from Nairalytics, the research arm of Nairametrics, revealed that foreign rice sold for an average of 14,500 naira as of May 2019 is now sold for an average of 30,000 naira. A 50 kg bag of gari sold for 7,200 naira in May 2019 now costs 13,700 naira. 25 liters of vegetable oil sold for 9,750 naira in May 2019 now sells for 14,625 naira. A piece of frozen fish which cost 417 naira in May 2019 now sells for 625 naira. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says the power sector has recorded an all-time national peak of 5,459.50 megawatts. A statement issued on Thursday by TCN General Manager, Public Affairs, Ndidi Mba, said the new record was achieved on October the 28th. The statement said the power generated was efficiently transmitted through the nation's transmission grid at a frequency of 50.26 Hz by 8:15 p.m. on the said date. According to the statement, this milestone in transmission is higher than any peak ever recorded in the nation's power industry as of date. Reacting to the development, Sule Abdulaziz, Acting Managing Director, TCN, commended all the players in the power sector value chain for the feat. And finally, on business, rice millers on Thursday declared that they would shut down some of their plants in some parts of the country following the destruction of some of their mills by protesters during the widespread EndSARS protest. Dealers under the aegis of Rice Millers Association of Nigeria said that they were taken aback at the devastating destruction and looting carried out against their members. The association's national president, Peter Dama, said the resultant impact on these rice mills will create some deficits in their members' contribution to national food security and the rice value chain, as the affected rice mills will be shut down for a while at this critical period with huge debts to pay. Dama, who disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja, stated that some of the affected mills include Shamad Rice Mill Yola, Glams Foods Lagos. He said this act is condemnable, highly regrettable and insensitive. The association therefore called on government to urgently assist the rice millers with funds to rebuild and restock to commence their operations, as most of them took loans to run their businesses. And that's it on business. And over now to sports, where Victor Osimhen returns as General Rowe unveils 24-man Super Eagles squad for 2021 AFCON qualifiers against Sierra Leone. Egosa Igbeka has more in our sports bulletin this morning.
Sorry for that, it was due to technical hitch. I take that again. Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, Chippa United goalkeeper Daniel Akpeyi, and Rangers midfielder Joe Aribo have returned to the Super Eagles following the announcement of the 24-man squad for next month's 2021 AFCON qualifiers against Sierra Leone. The names of the invited players was published on the NFS verified Twitter handle on Thursday. Also making a return to the Eagles are Ogene Karabu Itibo and Club Brugge forward Emmanuel Dennis. Here is the first caller for 26-year-old Switzerland-born goalkeeper Sebastian Osigwe, who plays for SC Lugano in the Swiss top flight. Osimhen missed the Eagles' friendly games against Algeria and Tunisia in Austria due to coronavirus issues at Napoli. The trio of Etebo, Aribo, and Akpeyi were all absent against the North Africans due to injury. CSK Moscow winger Chidera Ejuke, Michelin's Frank Oyenka, and Kevin Akpokuma Fofenheim were part of the invited players. Other players invited for the doubleheader against Sierra Leone are Maduka Okoye, William Trust Ekong, Kenneth Romero, Leon Balogun, Semi Ajayi, Chidozie Awazian, Zaidu Sanusi, Ola Aino, and Jamilo Collins. And finally, Arsenal's players impressed manager Mikel Arteta as they virtually broke Dundon's resistance to win their Europa League group game 3-0 at Emirates Stadium last night. Edin Ketia passed from close range to give the Gunners the lead after 42 minutes, and Joe Willock doubled the lead 2 minutes later. Nicolas Pepe's brilliant effort from the edge of the box a minute after the restart kicked the game off. Arsenal handed the debut to Iceland goalkeeper runner Alex Ronaldo, a summer signing from Dijon, and he played behind a makeshift central defense. The Gunners have 3 centre-backs injured, including David Luiz, with another 2 not registered for the Europa League. Arsenal top Group B with 6 points, while Mold, who beat Rapid Vienna in the other group game, is second with 6 points. Elsewhere in Group A, CF Arrow Clutch and Young Boys played at a 1-0 draw, while AS Roma drew goalless with CSK Sofia. French outfit Nice defeated Apoel Beersheva 1-0, while Slavia Prague also beat Bayer Leverkusen 1-0 in Group C. In Group D, Benfica were 3-0 winners over Standard Liège of Belgium, while Rangers of Scotland defeated Lech Poznan of Poland 1-0. AC Milan defeated Sparta Prague 3-0 at the San Siro Stadium, while Lille and Celtic played at a 2-2 draw in Group H. And that's this for sports. My name is Egosa Igbeka. And back to you, Charles.
Thank you very much, Egosa, for those sports stories. And with those stories, we come to the end of our package this morning. But before we leave, a quick recap of the headlines. We told you that President Buhari has said Nigeria's economy is too fragile for a first lockdown. The Senate has queried the ministry for spending 248 million naira without approval. and the Nigeria Labour Congress has demanded an end to medical tourism by government officials. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget, you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net, or you can download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We are also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on RadioGarden.com. KUFM News Dawn was produced by Nosahai Owadiai. I am Charles Opperum saying thanks for listening and good morning.
92.7 KUFM